Hi there, my name is Guy Beckles. I am originally from Trinidad. I now live and work in Florida. And before that, I was in New York for about 8 years, working out of a studio in Harlem for maybe about 8 to 10 years actually. What led me to, I must add that I am the only practicing kinetic artist in the entire English-speaking Caribbean. I have a background in math and physics, so I've combined the two with art, and that's how I ended up actually doing kinetic art. It happened in quite I should say, almost by chance, in serendipity, I would say. I was attending college in the States, Dartmouth College, not sure what I was going to major in, and one of the senior students suggested why not take an art class. And that was the beginning of it. I never looked back since, and that was almost 50 years now. I've been holding my craft for 50 years. You know, people often wonder why I do what I do, because it's very particular, painstaking, meticulous work. I always joke about most of the gray hair you see on my face is because of my work, you know. That and my ex-wife, but that's another story. If I had to describe myself in maybe 2, maybe 3 words, one of the words would be attention to detail. It's not a word, but let's just say being meticulous. Because of the nature of my work, it has to be precise. I have to know that when I do a piece, I can install it, turn my back, and 5 years later, it will still be working trouble-free. That requires a lot of precision and painstaking work. So it's trial and error, and that's another thing. The work that I do, I don't have a blueprint. There are very few other artists that do this work that I can rely on to find out, well, how is this done? So a lot of it is purely trial and error, and my background in math and physics is fairly rudimentary. So I don't really have that knowledge. I just gain it on the go as I go along, and as a matter of fact, one piece informs this other piece. So it's sort of like a mushroom effect, osmosis. One piece informs the next piece that I'm going to do. I think the second word that would best describe me is freedom. I use that in the general sense. By freedom, I mean freedom of expression, freedom of how and what I create. Because, as I said, I am alone in this path. So my creative process is actually process of play. When I go into my studio, it's a play and a use of materials that are not normally used together. So that freedom, that's in one way describes the kind of freedom that I use in my work. So the other word that would describe me is freedom in that sense, freedom to express myself in ways that are not the norm. People are accustomed to seeing maybe a beach scene or a landscape or a seascape, and my work is not that. It's, as I said, it's a combination of art and science, art and movement. You know, I cannot begin to express how excited I am to be a part of this upcoming event, Art in Motion. I've always wanted to work with both Diane Bosworth and Marlon King because of their level of professionalism and their attention to detail. And I am also that kind of a person. So I think it's going to be a perfect marriage, and it's going to be quite an effective event. I'm also looking forward to the opportunity of collaborating and working with other artists, and also showcasing my work in Toronto. You know, before I leave this earth, the legacy that I would like to leave is, because there aren't many of us, many kinetic artists, and I have known quite a few artists have left already who have passed on, and their work has remained in a storeroom collecting dust. And I shudder to think that that would happen to me. So the legacy that I would like to leave, I would like to be able to establish a kinetic house, a kinetic gallery, a kinetic museum, where people can come and still enjoy my work, even if I'm not around to share it with them. But some permanent space that the work can continue and people could enjoy it for years to come.